Did you guys see the Bill Maher
Yes.
No, I
know
haven't
what
seen
you're
it.
talking
Tyson deGrasse thing that's going around?
Oh, you mean you're talking about his monologue that he did on his show on Friday? This thing,
The interaction.
Oh, him. Oh man, Neil deGrasse just
Right.
plummeted like a rock.
So here's the thing too.
No,
and
I
think
didn't see this yet.
This is a reason why I think Isai Morales, he just didn't see him on the PR, directly. Is that Isai Morales is a very base gentleman, and this is not the first time.
Isai.
Yeah, this is not the first time we've seen Isai post sound stuff. So I think you guys should definitely follow Isai Morales.
I thought I did. Why don't I see this shit?
So, I don't know. This is I don't know, but it was first.
I still follow him, but his stuff ain't been popping up on my thingy.
Oh, well, let's play this and let me know. I want to get your reaction, guys.
Sure.
Here we go. Make sure it's volume because they go at it. Well, Bill goes at it.
Bill, there's a portfolio of jokes that would still work on a college campus. Surely.
I would hope not. From what maybe some college campuses, the ones you read about are fucking insane.
You've given up on an entire generation. And you don't know how to make them laugh.
I have given up on any place that doesn't even remotely attempt to believe in free speech and thinks that anything that they hear that they don't like, that they don't agree with, is violence. These people are fucking nuts, and you should be calling them out. Somebody like you, who has standing with kids, should be not joining them.
When there's a science
you're doing what
to it.
You're doing what parents do. You're taking the path of least resistance, and therefore hurting the kids and yourself. Parents ruin both their lives. They ruin their fucking spoiled kids' lives, and they ruin their own lives because the kids rule the roost. So that's what you're doing on a national level.
I'm feeling more like on the porch. Get off my lawn.
Really? I feel like we're in the barbershop.
Surely there's a portfolio of jokes that would...
Wow. Neil totally avoided that shit.
Nailed him. He nailed him.
I think Bill was watching me the other night.
Yeah. Was that all about?
Go ahead. I'll give you my Cheeto.
What would you like to know about this?
No, just your thoughts.
I saw clumps of this, and a lot of this also had to do with gender and trans and all that stuff.
Oh boy,
and it was really tiresome. I thought Neil deGrasse was a complete asshole.
I mean, he used to be like,
So it's another day that ends in Y. You mean?
I used to look up to him a lot.
Yeah, me too. But the ego that he displayed in this interview, and he really, this is one of the few times that Bill actually pushed back and got some words in edgewise. deGrasse just would not shut up. Like,
really,
what a bully this guy was in this interview. And I've
never really liked him, to be honest with you.
Well, then you're smarter than me. But I never, this was really horrific. I've lost all respect for Tyson.
Well, and that's kind of why. And I mean, not trying to be like, oh, haha, I knew it, but no, I could kind of see through this facade with him early on that he was just kind of a
but
maybe like an uncle, or not an uncle, but what's his name?
Oh, don't say uncle to him.
No. I was thinking Uncle Phil, but what the hell's his name? Dr. Phil. He's not even a real doctor. That's what my point was. Like, that's what he reminds me of, is like a Dr. Phil. Like, to where like he's fake as fuck. And then you come to find out.
Yeah.
Brian.
So was this part of a wider conversation just about comedy, or was it about other things?
A wider bunch of stuff.
Okay, right. Okay, this was just a section around comedy.
Yep.
So Neil deGrasse Tyson's argument was that you're just not funny enough to make them laugh. Younger people, we're not working hard enough to give them the comedy they want, I think was his argument. Well, it's impossible to be funny if you're always offending people. I mean, you couldn't, as John Cleese keeps saying, you couldn't make, now you can't do comedy now. Rowan Atkinson, others, we can't do it now. It's the things we did would be hung, drawn, and quartered for now. So I have to agree with Bill Maher, which isn't always the case, but he's always pretty good on this issue
lately.
He's good on these issues. He's very good in these issues.
So let me tell you something. I said it in a previous video of mine. when the Frantics, the comedy group that I was in back through the entire 80s, 10 years. Even then, we would go to the universities in Canada, and the Students' Union that were generally booking the events, they already were coming up to us and saying, oh, you guys can't use certain words and please certain concepts and don't talk about this and that. And we just quit. Like, we played prisons and did not have any restrictions. Okay. But the universities in the 80s, we got this sappy, mealy mouth, weak-willed bullshit from the students' representatives. Ooh, you know, you got to be glad. And we went, wow, forget it. And we weren't even a foul-mouthed group. We didn't swear at all, but we had concepts that they didn't like. And so we...
That's funny, because, I would think your guys' comedy would flow right into
but we just didn't like being told what to do. And we did do a few universities, and
I didn't realize they were that bad back then. Actually,
no, it started like this is, and it's funny that this happened to us, because now it's like a million times worse. And even Seinfeld and a whole bunch of stand-ups said we're never playing universities ever again, because it's all this intersectional BS. And, you know, don't hurt people, and, you know, stay off of these topics, because, you know, it's the language is violence. And we didn't get that, but it was, you could see the seeds of that back then.
No, someone on the right who is just as kind of lost respect for, or they say silly shit as Neil here.
Oh,
well, there's probably a few. I just can't think of. I mean, it's equally possible to be straitjacketed on both sides. Absolutely. I like equal opportunity offenders.
But you can't name anyone right now.
I try my best to not shoot the messenger and listen to the message. If Trump says something that I can agree with, then I'm going to admit it. If Lauren Boebert, heaven help us, actually says something that I agree with, I'll say it. I mean, we are so tribalized that the mere fact that a publication that everybody has vilified produces some content that might be of interest, they will not even read. They will not even read it. Like, I have a hard time reading Vice because I think it's mostly bullshit. But if someone says, hey, this piece is good, I'll read it. And if someone says the Wall Street Journal actually has some real journalism, which I highly doubt, I'll read it, and just based on, you know, and make my own decision. It's one of the hardest things right now, is the tribalization of not just our political positions, but also not the venues, the sources of information that we frequent. We've already tribalized that. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of who on the.
Well, there's not that many hard. Well, I don't know if the word hard right is right. Hard right comedians. I mean,
well, Neil Tyson deGrasse is not a comedian.
I know. I know.
You know, I'm just telling you, like, you know. So okay. So Tom, do you have anything to say about this?
No, well, I think Bill's kind of been coming around for a while now. I mean, sure, a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, finally," but like, look, we can't not encourage individuals who are normally from another, you know, point of view, another political point of view, whatever it is, when they do finally realize that, yeah, shit isn't what I thought it was before. We can't be like, well, yeah, duh, it's about time you come around. No, we got to give him, like, yes, finally you get it too. And that's great. And he's right. He's 100% right. Cause he's also been telling people this for a while now. He came after Sean Penn as well in the same way. Right. And I agreed 100% with what he was saying, because that's exactly what I've been saying for a while. Is I said, none of this shit is going to change until the actors and the other executives and stuff start saying that, yeah, enough's enough. Right. And we've gone too far with some of this shit, and it's just incredibly stupid. And it's funny because then it all got to the same point where I haven't seen this clip. I just saw this clip now. I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but we'll probably check it out. But from what it sounds like, they moved on to the trans point and whatnot. but not to get too deep into that. But again, that was kind of what he went off on Sean Penn about, is like, you know, we've gotten to this place where we're literally, you know, trying to go against what actual science and language means and stuff like that. And somebody like deGrasse Tyson should be keeping those type of things in mind, right? Like, he is quote unquote the science, right? Like, people follow him. People consider him an authority. Even Paul sat here and said it himself. He respected him for years up until this conversation.
Well, so did I.
Right. And I mean, look, I've never really liked the guy, but I understood, why. Well, you know, his space stuff was okay, right? I didn't have no problems with that stuff. Fine, keep doing that. That's great. But when it comes to this shit, evidently this is not your strong suit, man. Because Bill is 100% right here. It's just like, it's no different than being a parent. And this is now spread to the rest of the world because we have failed this generation as parents, right? And I got to take responsibility for that as a parent of this generation, regardless of how my kid turned out, right? Because we did. We allowed him, we took the path of least resistance, and now the world is doing the same goddamn thing with them. And so we're pacifying an entire generation instead of making them grow the fuck up. And it's really what it is. It's boiled down to a bunch of kids who need to learn to grow up. They don't know what real oppression is. They don't know what real racism is. They don't know what real struggle is. None of them have even seen a war in their lifetime, right? Most of them have been too young by now to even remember 9/11.
So you're saying bring back the draft?
Yes. And we'll just start a war just so we have a reason to use it.
Okay, so I asked you guys.
I'm kidding on the last part, of course.
Yeah. I asked you guys a question. I got my own answers. Is Tim Pool and Shapiro and the chick playing Snow White. I just think for this channel, culturally, those guys are complete ignorance. But I mean, they're not, you know, and if they represent the Republican right, that's supposed to be that next generation, and then an alternative, they are missing out on the boat on the Latino vote, because according to another new poll, Biden is Jesus, I better watch what I say. Homie is losing the Latino vote in droves. But what that other side has failed to do is failed to culturally understand, respect, and dignify the Latino communities here in the States.